Mix 106 weekend movies. Which ones should you see? Which ones should you avoid? Willie Waffle, our Mix 106 movie critic, sees them all for you so that you know. This week, 2 movies for you to choose from. We have The Man from U.N.C.L.E. and also the movie based on a true story, Straight Out of Compton.
One of the biggest problems of being in a movie that was supposed to star George Clooney is that we sit around going, man, George Clooney would have been better in this movie.
I take it we're talking about The Man from U.N.C.L.E. here.
Yeah, not Straight Out of Compton. That's a whole other thing.
All right,
because
I was trying to figure out
George Clooney for that movie. I think we would have had some issues.
Yeah, I couldn't figure out who he would play in Straight Out of Compton.
Well, he would play Ice Cube, but he would come pretty close to doing it well.
So once again, just so everybody knows, this is based on the television show, right? The Man from U.N.C.L.E.
Right, and I think that's one of the things with the movie. It's based on something that most people never saw, don't remember. It's pulling on nostalgia that frankly doesn't exist. It's growing more and more extinct. And so you're left with a movie that should mean more, but you don't have the right background to understand why it should mean more.
So not good at all?
No, I wouldn't say that. I mean, I think you've got a movie that's got a lot of flair and a lot of sparkle, and it's set in the early 1960s. You got Superman, Henry Cavill is playing Napoleon Solo, the top CIA agent who used to be a thief and decided to be a CIA agent instead of going to jail. And he is teamed up reluctantly with the top KGB agent played by Armie Hammer. And the two of them don't get along very well because the KGB and the CIA don't get along very well in 1960s. And just to let a lot of other kids know, yes, there's a thing called the KGB.
I was going to say, in the 1960s, not only did they not get along, they didn't talk.
Right. And I think, missing that little piece of history, I think, hurts the movie. And of course, they're teamed up because there's a secret group out there that may be getting a nuclear bomb, and it's so dangerous, the Soviets and the Americans decide they have to work together to stop it. And I think it would have been a better movie, if Henry Cavill was just having more fun. I mean, this is supposed to be a George Clooney role. He's supposed to be rakish and roguing and rascally charming, and he's not that. He's a little too stiff. I mean, the dialogue is there. The script is there. He's just not having enough fun with it. But at least, he has good chemistry with Armie Hammer as they have that rivalry going on. I think that saves the movie. I think just, the cool kind of, retro look of it all saves the movie. You've got some decent action going on here. I'd say like 2 waffles.
How about the action? Is it any good?
Yeah, I think you're doing all right here. I mean, there's nothing here that's rewriting the book, but at least I'm tense. I'm on the edge of my seat. I want to see Armie Hammer ride that motorcycle again.
So it's worth the money, but you're not going to be talking about it when you get home.
No, not at all.
All right. And then the other movie this week is based on a true story, and I'm actually fascinated to see the behind the scenes of what happened here in Straight Out of Compton.
Well, and I think behind the scenes is a good way to put it because it feels like a little bit of a VH1 behind the scenes episode. We've got the typical, forming of the group, the rise, the fall, the controversy, the way people hated each other when they broke up, all that kind of stuff. As we see Dr. Dre before he invented beats, we see Ice Cube before he became a comedy star, when they were some bad you-know-whats, forming a group called NWA. And I don't think that it's overstating that NWA is the Beatles of rap. Before NWA, you're talking about, fight for your right to party and kind of, the Sugar Hill Gang and, kind of fun rap. And this was gangster rap. This was new rap. This was talking about, society and culture and this underworld that a lot of people didn't really know about. And that's where I think the movie is successful, is kind of showing all that, showing the reaction of society against NWA, the way the government was going after them. And I'm not overstating that either. The government was going after them.
Well, and I think that for people who may not remember or not been around to know, at this time, when this music came out, this was not considered music.
Yeah, it was considered something that was going to go away very quickly, that it wasn't artistry in many people's minds, and I think that's what this movie kind of overcomes. Yeah, it's got its melodramatic moments. It's got its kind of obvious moments, but I'd say 3 waffles. I think you're looking at a decent movie.
Wow. How's the music?
Well, the music, it's NWA music, so,
If you like that music, you're going to like the music in the movie.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right. What do we have next week?
Next week, we were talking about American Ultra with Jesse Eisenberg and Kristen, what's her name from Twilight?
Stuart?
Yeah, that's it.
All right.
I've been trying to forget all the Twilight kids because they seem like their careers are going away, and every once in a while she pops up.
All right, we will talk to you next week.
All right, at least Wolf Boy is smart enough to go away and leave us alone.